You won't believe the courtroom drama that just transpired today. It could have been a movie. Despite Kirk Frost's repeated claims of innocence, the CCTV footage simply revealed the truth, and believe me, it's not good. It is the evidence that turns a case on its head that we are discussing. What precisely is contained in this video? What does this entail for Kirk and Mendeecees? And who is actually at fault here? This case just took an unexpected turn, so stay tuned. Let's take a look back for those who are unaware. Mendeecees and Kirk Frost have been at odds, and now they are in court. What began as a heated dispute swiftly turned into something much more serious, with both men accusing one another and laying out entirely different explanations. Initially, he said nothing but that Kirk was out here claiming to have been attacked and presenting himself as the victim. The exact opposite was being said by Mendeecees, who claimed that Kirk was the one who initiated everything and was merely attempting to hide it. Words against words was all that was going on at the time, so nobody knew who to believe. However, this is where things changed. Things become real when the evidence is presented, and today the court saw proof, hard evidence, no more back and forth, no more rumors, just plain unquestionable facts. And this does not bode well for Kirk, I must say. Now let's discuss the video. Think about this. A well-publicized event with stars everywhere. It was supposed to be a typical evening with cameras flashing and the entire room humming with activity, but that all changes in an instant when a fight breaks out. The CCTV footage is where it gets crazy now. When the footage was shown in court, it was evident what had actually happened that night. And guess what? Kirk's version of events was totally discredited. The first punch was delivered by Kirk, not by Mendeecees or another individual in the crowd. Kirk is the same. He has been acting like the victim the entire time while telling everyone that he was attacked. Despite Kirk's insistence that he had nothing to do with it while standing in court, it was displayed on the screen in front of everyone. The video showed Kirk getting in Mendeecees' face, tempers erupting, and the argument reaching a heated point before Kirk took the initial blow before anyone could respond. That was the turning point that turned this case to its head. Additionally, let's quickly discuss the courtroom response. The tension was evident when the video started playing. As the video revealed the truth to him, Mendeecees simply sat back with his arms crossed and didn't even need to speak. You could tell Kirk wasn't prepared for this, though, as his entire victim story just fell apart in real time. As you are already aware, the internet went crazy when the video was released. All platforms went up in smoke. It was perfectly captured in one tweet. The camera caught Kirk lying, and it's over. To be honest, they're not wrong. People called Kirk out for attempting to change the story. Video doesn't lie, which is why you shouldn't believe everything people say. Some were saying, you know how the internet works. Some were just making fun of him mercilessly. However, let's discuss Mendeecees' response, as it was a standalone moment. When the video started playing, he reportedly just sat back and grinned without even reacting. Suppose someone spent weeks deceiving you and painting you as the villain, only to be exposed in front of everyone in 4K. It's the type of situation where you don't even need to talk. The video did all the talking for him. And the case suddenly took a significant turn. If you thought the CCTV footage was bad, wait a moment, because the prosecution just revealed yet another shocking revelation: text messages. Trust me, these texts have a profound impact. The prosecution produced receipts and real messages that Kirk had sent prior to the altercation, but the court had not even finished processing the video, and when they read them aloud, the level of tension in that courtroom increased significantly. It was stated in one text, "He won't see it coming." Excuse me, but that suggests that this wasn't just a fight that broke out of the blue, and also shows that Kirk knew something was going to happen. It was prearranged, but it wasn't the only thing. Additional messages from the days before the event revealed Kirk discussing Mendeecees. He needs to know that I'm not playing, and one even said, "I don't care what happens." Let us now consider this. Although Kirk had been adamantly claiming that he was the one attacked and that he was innocent, these messages paint a totally different picture, and legally speaking, this only escalated the situation because it is no longer just about the fight. Kirk could face severe legal repercussions in light of this kind of evidence. It was a crazy moment, so let's now discuss what transpired when those texts were made public in court. A silence fell over the courtroom as the messages appeared on the screen. Is there ever a situation so startling that people are at a loss for words? Even the jury appeared to be in disbelief at what they were witnessing, which was the vibe. And Kirk's whole manner changed. He looked like he had just seen a ghost. In contrast to when the CCTV footage played, he was not shaking his head or looking around with the Their statement, "These messages paint a concerning picture of Mr. Ross's intentions that night," put an end to Kirk's ability to control this narrative. However, did you think it could get any worse? Now that Kirk's own wife is being dragged into this mess, it gets worse. Yes, Kirk's wife recently leaked some messages, and they don't look good for him. According to one of the texts, he never pays attention to what I tell him not to do. So, hold on. Despite her attempts to warn him, he proceeded with it even though she knew something was forthcoming. Kirk is now dealing with more than just legal issues. He is also dealing with personal fallout, which is a whole new level of chaos. At this point, Kirk is losing not just in court, but also everyone around him, as his wife, the court, and social media all know. As Kirk was beginning to believe that things couldn't get any worse, audio recordings arrived in the courtroom. See the covert taps? Yes. People already knew Kirk was in trouble by this point, so let's just say that when the prosecution made the announcement, there was a pin drop in the courtroom. However, real audio recordings are the next step up. After they hit play, Kirk's voice could be heard clearly over the speakers, saying, "I already know what I'm gonna do, no loose ends." When those words came on, the audience gasped, the jury members looked at one another, and Kirk just sat there. It was like watching a movie. The more the prosecution played the entire recording, the worse it became. Talks about managing business, ensuring that no one spoke, and even suggestions of attempting to exert control over the situation after it happened were all discussed. "Do you have anything to say for yourself?" the judge asked Kirk, which was the most unexpected moment of all. And you know what? Since what can you say when you've been caught like this, Kirk was unable to speak and just sat there without saying anything. A new witness, not just any witness, but one of Kirk's own friends, was called by the prosecution just when it appeared that Kirk was finished. But there's more. It was evident that Kirk was aware of what was going to happen when someone from his inner circle took the stand and opened their mouths. They said bluntly, "I tried to tell him to stop, but he wouldn't listen. He thought he was untouchable." The arguments between the friends were vicious. "Oh, Kirk, it didn't stop there. Now even your own friends are turning against you." The witness described how Kirk had been boasting about his plans, how he believed he could get away with it, and worst of all, how he disregarded everybody's warnings. After this testimony, Kirk didn't just look guilty, he looked completely alone. The judge took a deep breath, turned to face Kirk, and said, "Mr. Kirk, it looks like you haven't been entirely honest with this court." And when the judge declares that the match is over, the actual query at hand is, what becomes of Kirk? Well, let's just say that things don't seem promising. The prosecution is attempting to obtain the maximum sentence from a legal standpoint. Since no one is really protesting, they are making it apparent that they want to use Kirk as an example rather than merely subjecting him to consequences. His career is also over, and even if he manages to escape going to jail, it's over because once the trust is lost, there's no turning back, and Kirk Frost is now officially fired. Rumor has it that more evidence is on the way, which could put Kirk in even more legal hot water because we thought he was done. How do you all feel? Is everything ruined by Kirk? Tell me what you think in the comments section.